I'm neurodivergent. Shall I tell my boss or not? Are employers allowed to ask? Should I inform the employer when I apply or once I've got the job? What is the best way to tell? What are my rights? This presentation will not tell you what to do. Instead, it will give you the information and highlight the issues that will help you to decide. What does UK law say? The law says it is unlawful for an employer or its representative, for example, occupational health provider, to ask any job applicant about their health or disability unless and until the applicant has been offered a job. Questions about previous sickness absence are classed as questions that relate to health or disability and must not be asked. However, there are some exceptions, and an employer may ask about disability in 6 specific circumstances. 1, to establish whether the applicant can take part in an assessment. 2, to determine whether reasonable adjustments can be made to enable a disabled person to take an assessment. 3, to find out whether a job applicant can undertake a function intrinsic to the job. 4, to monitor diversity among job applicants. 5, to support positive action in employment for disabled people. And 6, if there is an occupational requirement for the person to be disabled. So, do you have to tell your employer that you have a neurodevelopmental condition when you apply for a job or promotion, once you have the job, or if you were diagnosed while already in a job? The answer to all 3 is the same: no, you don't. The choice is yours. So, it's up to you to decide to tell or not to tell. So first of all, let's consider the advantages of telling. Your employer and workmates may understand you better. You can ask for changes to the way you work to suit the way you think. You may feel less stressed. And if you count as disabled under the law, your employer has to protect you from discrimination and make reasonable adjustments. So, do you count as disabled under the law? Neurodivergent people are not automatically considered disabled. The law defines a disabled person as someone who has a physical or mental impairment which has a substantial and long-term adverse impact on their ability to do normal day-to-day activities. If you submit a claim of disability discrimination, your employer can contest that you are disabled under the terms of the law, and importantly, a formal diagnosis is not decisive. But alongside the advantages, you may also have some legitimate worries about telling your employer. You may worry that the employer may be ignorant or prejudiced about the condition, that they may refuse to hire you or try to get rid of you. You might feel embarrassed. You may worry about gossip and being excluded. So, if you are weighing up these advantages and worries, how are you going to make your mind up? Consider the pros and cons of telling your employer. Discuss it with an ally, maybe a trade union representative, friend or family, or perhaps a neurodivergent organisation. You might want to find out about the employer, ask workmates, ask the trade union, do some research, and remember your rights as well. You have the right not to be discriminated against, you have the right to confidentiality, the right to reasonable adjustments, and the right to be supported and represented by a trade union. And if you have decided to tell your employer, maybe think about informing them in a positive way. Instead of saying, I just got some really bad news, I've been diagnosed with autism, you may prefer to say something like, I found out why I have such excellent focus and attention to detail is because I'm autistic. Instead of saying, sorry I didn't tell you before, but the reason I've been making all these mistakes is because I'm dyslexic, you might prefer to say, I've realised that as a dyslexic person I could do my job better with assistive software. And instead of saying, I think I need to tell you I have ADHD as that will probably be a problem for you, you could say, I have a lot of energy and I'm good at solving problems. That's because I have ADHD, which also means that I will benefit from taking frequent short breaks. So, remember this, You don't have to go through this on your own. There is power in a union.